Tonight, we are starting off with a key question hanging in the air. What is stopping Donald Trump from attacking Iran, if at all? Iran's economy at the moment is strained. It is facing internal challenges and dissent. But despite sanctions and isolation in a way, Tehran still possesses a formidable arsenal, one that could inflict serious damage on American interests, U.S. allies and the global economy. If Washington chooses military escalation, any American strike could trigger a protracted and costly conflict. Back when Iran retaliated in June last year, striking Israeli targets and a U.S. base in Qatar, it stopped short of causing American casualties or crippling Gulf economies, for instance. But this time around, if Iran's leadership believes its survival is at stake, the response could be far more dramatic. Let's just take a closer look at Iran's capabilities. Just to put this simply, Iran has turned the Persian Gulf into a potential battle space. Its arsenal includes low-cost swarm drones, long-range ballistic missiles, hypersonic projectiles, and also high-speed torpedoes. In fact, the country is close to a deal with China to purchase anti-ship cruise missiles. The deal for the China-made missiles is near completion reportedly, though no delivery date as of now has been agreed upon. The supersonic missiles have a range of about 290 kilometers and are designed to basically evade ship-borne defenses by flying low and fast, very crucial. In fact, Iran's Revolutionary Guards, the ideological arm of Iran's military, carried out military exercises on the southern coast of the country near the Gulf.
سر جنگیان رایج پیدا کرده. اطلاعات نظامی
Iran, for that matter, has rapidly replenished its missile stockpiles after the June conflict. It possesses thousands of long-range Shahed drones, the same type used by Russia in Ukraine, along with the Mohajer series of surveillance and strike drones as well. Clearly, Iran is not without options. Now, the bigger question is not over whether the United States can defend against Iran's missile armada. It probably can, but then at what cost? Because Iran's strategy goes beyond its own borders. Tehran has built what many call a ring of fire. We told you about this, a network of armed groups designed to encircle Israel and pressure U.S. interests across the region. This includes Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and powerful Shia militias in Iraq. Any conflict with Iran could quickly become a regional war with far-reaching consequences. Washington is preparing. The world's largest warship, the USS Gerald R is heading towards the region. The USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier is already in position. Both lead strike groups equipped with guided missile destroyers, additional assets deployed across the Red Sea, the Persian Gulf, and near the Strait of Hormuz. In fact, that also brings us to one of the most critical areas, the Strait of Hormuz, the world's most important oil choke point. About 20 million barrels of oil passing through it every single day, nearly one-third of the world's liquefied natural gas, an estimated $500 billion in annual energy trade, depending on this stretch of water there. The shipping lane lying within the territorial waters of Iran and Oman, and that gives Tehran geographic leverage as well. If Iran chooses to mine the waters, for example, deploy fast attack boats or even use submarines for asymmetric warfare, global energy markets would feel the shock immediately. Iran's parliament has already approved a motion to close the strait, the final decision resting with the country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. But then there is another variable in this conflict, the timeline. And in fact, in developments that are also crucial, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi landing in Israel for a 2-day visit tomorrow. He is scheduled to address the parliament there as well during that visit. It's highly unlikely that any major strike would be launched while a visiting head of government is on Israeli soil. Prime Minister Modi departing on the 26th of February from there the same day when Iran and US are scheduled to hold their next round of nuclear talks in Geneva. In fact, Iranian military leaders are striking a rather defiant tone. The commander-in-chief of the Iranian army has declared that Iran will defend its independence until its last breath. He calls the current situation a hybrid war, a combination of military, economic, political, and informational pressure. And he is also reminding the world that major powers once claimed invincibility in Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, only to leave after years of costly conflict. Trump, on the other hand, has denied reports that his top military officer is against a strike on Iran. US media had reported that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff had warned Trump and top officials of various risks associated with the strikes, including a long-term entanglement. Trump slammed the reports, labeling them inaccurate, and taking to Truth Social. The president wrote, "It was 100% incorrect that General Kane is against US going to war with Iran." Washington Post had reported that Kane had expressed concern at the White House and Pentagon that munition shortages and a lack of allied support could increase danger to US personnel. In fact, the Wall Street Journal said both the top general and other Pentagon officials have warned of risks like US and allied casualties, as well as the danger of US air defenses being depleted if its forces strike Iran. The Axios reported General Kane warned of the United States becoming entangled in a prolonged conflict. The question is pretty simple. Will diplomacy prevail, or are we looking at the build-up to a conflict that could engulf the entire region, also shake global energy markets, and drag major powers into another prolonged war? Perhaps the real answer at this point is uncertain, and the week ahead will tell us more. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.